So this is an overview of the chassis, and man, does it look
sick.
So right now what we're doing, since we just got this actually back from powder coating and sandblasting, we're about to put the trailing arms in and the cross member back in as well. I mean, it was pretty rough. I know I don't have a before video. Maybe I can put a picture in this video of what it looked like before, but it, just imagine 50 years of rust, had it sandblasted, powder coated, and honestly, it couldn't have turned out any better. I was scared to do it because it was a little bit of money to be able to powder coat it, but it was really worth it. That's where we're at right now. So we're just gonna put the front end together. We got some CPP springs and we redid, or we sandblasted and painted all of the A-arms and everything. So I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a close-up of what this looks like. These are the bolt holes that we used to reference this sheet right here. You should be able to see that. And so you put those 3 holes in, you're able to do that, and it makes a really, really good template. And it just took us a while to figure out how we wanted to do that, because you know, if you do it wrong, rear end's not gonna line up. So once we did that, everything fit really well. Another thing that wasn't really addressed, we did have to make some modifications to the kit to compensate for this part right here. That wasn't really in the instructions or anything. We just had to cut that, but you know, aside from that, we just put a little L shape in it, and it was good from that point. This is the C10, this is the truck, everything over here. And as you can see, pretty rough shape, and it's kind of got some funky looking colors going on. You can tell what it used to be. It used to be this light mint green. And so what I've been doing, and this is a lot more effort than I was originally going to put into the truck, is I'm kind of getting a very, very fine, like a Scotch-Brite pad, or you know, not very rough or coarse sandpaper. And I'm coming back and I'm taking off this blue that someone had painted over the original green, because I really like that mint green patina. And so I'm taking all that off, as you can see on the floor right there, and I'm going to try to get it back to as much green as I can while trying to keep the integrity of that original rust and patina. Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. So today I'm going to be talking about our powder coated 64 C10 chassis. I'm going to be telling you guys all about the money we spent on the chassis. I'm going to give you guys some alternatives for those of you who are balling on a budget, and just go over the pros and cons of painting opposed to powder coating and vice versa, you know, that kind of thing. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first and foremost, the chassis, it came out great. I absolutely love our decision. We originally
That's all, folks.
We originally were just gonna get sandblasted for $150. Well, the place we're getting it sandblasted at, they said, well, we can powder coat the entire chassis for $350 and sandblasted. So $350 flat. So that's with sandblasting, powder coating. It was almost like a no-brainer for the amount of time it would take to buff out or sand down the rust and dirt on that frame. There was no way it was gonna be worth that amount of time. I know that $350 is a good chunk of change, but it was definitely worth it. Now, I do want to be transparent with you guys. Because I took the cross member and trailing arms out, it actually cost a little bit extra. I didn't know that ahead of time, but I had to end up eating that. So it was around $500 roughly by the end of when we had got it sandblasted and powder coated the cross member and trailing arms separately from the frame. But either way, it turned out great. I don't regret my decision in the slightest. It looks show quality opposed to what I was going to do previously. But for those of you guys who are looking for something a little bit cheaper, I do want to go over some alternatives with you guys. So looking right here, I've got a couple different options for us, okay? So first and foremost, this was the route I was going to go. It's pour 15, and from what I understand, you know, you can just kind of clean up the frame a little bit and you can paint it right over the rust and it will be rock solid. Now, a couple cons that I hear is if it's out in the sundial, it's going to fade, but I think that's the same given enough time with powder coating as well. But I heard it is rock solid. It's great for even undercoating or even inside the cab. I've heard guys love this product. This was the direction I was going to go. And as you can see, you can get a gallon of it for $127. Okay, so that's less than just getting the chassis sandblasted. And you can either roll it on, and I think that these guys also offer a spray-on type of material as well. But I've seen great results with this, and I hear a lot of praise from this stuff. I do want to give you guys another type of option. This right here, this is Eastwood chassis. Now there are a lot of different brands that you can go after, but Eastwood's just a good one to me. And they offer a chassis black paint. Now this would be very different. You'd have to clean up the chassis, so you'd either have to have it sandblasted or you'd have to work on it yourself. I don't think Eastwood's product's going to work very well on rust. They do have a type of paint, from what I understand, that can be painted over rust, but this is more for a clean chassis, paint it and go. Now, moving on, Rust-Oleum. You know, it's just tried and true to me. There are a lot of guys who smirk at it, but I think that Rust-Oleum makes a great product or great paint for a lot of the time. You can go get some aerosol cans, clean up the frame, and shoot it, and I bet it'll look like $1 million. So I like Rust-Oleum's products a lot. Now, a couple things that I want to suggest to you guys if you are going to clean up the chassis yourself, things that you're going to need. You're going to need either a wire wheel brush or you're going to have to sandblast it yourself. And a wire wheel brush, I mean, generally speaking, you just have to get a grinder, and you can get like a set of wire wheel brushes for, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks, but this one's $10, and I'm sure that's on the high end, and you can get that through Amazon. That will definitely be your best friend. I would encourage you guys, if you are gonna do it this way, get a variety of different kinds, because you're gonna have all kinds of nooks and crannies. Again, this is one of the main reasons that it was absolutely not worth it to me to take the time messing with that frame. It's just not worth the time and the money that it's just not worth it to me. I would have definitely gladly pay 150 bucks to get that sucker sandblasted. Okay, another thing that you can't consider here, and this is something that we're going to be using on the bottom of our truck cab. It's an air sandblast kit, and you can get them for 16 bucks, and you can get a bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket with this type of media from Tractor Supply Co. It's about 8 bucks a bag. And you can do it by hand. It's going to take forever, and you've got to have a pretty good compressor in order to be able to do it, but I do think it would work just fine. Again, those are just a couple options for you guys in order to be able to clean the frame up. So, granted, you're going to spend what, roughly, you know, if you want to paint it, you're going to spend what, 20 bucks right there, roughly 8 bucks a bag. You'll probably need, I don't know, 8 bags of this, so 8 times 8, whatever that is, with the 20 bucks you spend right there. And if you're going to shoot it with a type of paint, you're going to be ending up spending probably more than this. I would think 100 bucks probably. If you want to pour 15 it though, you just want to clean it up with a grinder wheel, and you want to pour 15 it, which is definitely the route that I would go. Definitely, I just think that's way easier and going to be far less time consuming. Even if you did get it sandblasted, I think this stuff would be really good. It's 127 bucks. So yeah, I mean, you are going to spend less right there. But let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of powder coating opposed to painting. Over here, I'm going to put some pros, and over here I'm going to put some cons. Pros to powder coating and sandblasting, oh my gosh, it was so easy. I took the frame over there and I got it back and it looked like $1 million. Powder coating is also notorious for being a lot more scratch proof than paint. It doesn't tend to chip away. Now, a lot of complaints that I see from guys on forums is that if it does get a crack in it and water gets in it behind it, it'll start bubbling up and cracking away. And obviously, powder coating is a lot harder to fix than just painting, right? Because if you get a little scuff on paint, you just clean it up and you can shoot the same paint over. Not to say that you can't paint over powder coat, but those are some of the issues you get with it. Overall, I think it is by far the best route to go. I think it was great. And like I said, if you can find someone who can do it as cheap as 350 bucks with sandblasting, why not? I mean, why not? I think it is by far worth the man hours that you would put into that frame to just simply do that. Pros for painting, it's a lot cheaper. I mean, as you can see, if you want to go the pour 15 route, you know, you get a grinder and you buy some grinding wheels, and you know, you'll have less than 150 bucks probably wrapped up in it, and it's gonna look great. It's, you know, you just roll it on, you can do it yourself, just minimal cleaning, which is definitely a pro. You can roll it on, it's cheap. Those are all pros. Cons, you know, it does fade in the sunlight really bad is what I hear, and it is going to be time consuming even though you're not taking it down to bare metal. So those are some cons, but like I said, it's a lot cheaper. Now, actually painting the frame and cleaning it yourself, I would definitely advise that you go get it sandblasted for 150 bucks, way worth your time. I don't think that painting it's going to be that bad, and painting's going to be a lot cheaper. So, you know, you're roughly going to spend, I would think, 100 bucks. So you could spend $200 to $250 doing it yourself, and that's definitely a good deal if you don't have a powder coater that can do it as cheap as 350 bucks, which from what I read is pretty hard to find. those are some of the options that you guys have. But yeah, anyway, I hope that this was an informative video for you guys. I know there wasn't a lot of footage of us working on the truck this time. I really just wanted to give you guys my perspective on the powder coated chassis and why we decided to go that route opposed to just going like, you know, the route of 415, which I was originally going to do. I hope this video was informative to you guys. I should have some new content out next week of us putting the front end together. You know, I want to talk about disc brakes, A-arms, what we decided to do, and what route we decided to go. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button, give me a like, and I'll see you guys next week.